these are the 5 biggest mistakes you're probably making on social media, and they're keeping you from getting clients. They're keeping you from growing your email list, and they're keeping you from seeing the success that you really are looking for when it comes to social media and content, and using that to grow your business and brand. And I know this because I've audited over 100 businesses' social media in the past 6 months, and I've put together a list of the biggest mistakes that I've seen across different platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. These are the mistakes that I keep seeing over and over. But real quick before we get into that, if you don't know who I am, my name is Marvell. I am a funnel and content strategist, the owner of Unique Marketing. I help creators and entrepreneurs get a better ROI from their content so that they can get more leads, sales, and clients. But I'm gonna hop right into it. So, biggest mistake. Number one biggest mistake I see all over is people don't understand who their audience is. And it's not even so much that they don't know who their audience is, because usually if I ask a business owner, if I ask an entrepreneur who their target audience is, or if I just look at their content and kind of fill it out and get a sense of who their audience is, it's usually very general. A lot of times they're addressing their market, not so much their audience. So imagine you have a circle, right? This is everybody that could potentially be a client, or who might potentially like your content, might want to follow you. This is what you call the total addressable market. This is who a lot of people talk to. They talk to anybody who could potentially be a client. A lot of times you'll ask entrepreneurs or creator who your target audience is, and they'll say anybody who can buy, whoever can afford it, everybody, like those kind of general statements. Or to be young people, older people, college students. Like, that's what we call a market. It's not very necessarily a specific audience, right? So now let's say we just wanted to talk to these people. Let's say you're a personal trainer, right? The total market could be anybody who might need to get in shape, take care of their health, right? That's the total market. Inside the market are different sections. We call those different segments of the market. This is when you start to get very specific on who you're talking to. This is when you start to target a specific group of people in that market. This could be new moms. This could be college students looking to lose that freshman 15. It could be whoever, but the idea is that this audience, I'm targeting this audience specifically. It's not addressing everybody. The reason this is important is because it gives you a much more focused point to aim on, if that makes sense, right? If you're focused on this, you don't have to try and talk to everybody. There's a saying in marketing: if you try to talk to everybody, you talk to no one, because you have to dilute your messaging. You have to water it down. A really good example I like to use is if you're a personal trainer and you put out a piece of content that says, here's 5 tips for losing body fat, right? That's good. That's a great piece of content that's going to help somebody. But a better, more targeted piece of content, you could say, here's 5 quick and easy tips that you can use to lose that freshman 15. You see how that wording is very specific to a group of people? Only people who know what the freshman 15 is, and only people who are dealing with the freshman 15 are going to care about that piece of content. And if you have, let's say, a program for college students who want to maintain their health, this can be something that you can use as a top of funnel piece of content, whether it's a blog, whether it's social media, Twitter, whatever. But you have very specific pieces of content that talk to a specific audience. And one thing I've noticed is that a lot of people don't have a clear understanding of who their audience is. Not specific enough to the point where your content is going to be effective. Like I said, if you try to sell to everyone, you sell to no one. So the more specific, the more detailed, the more knowledgeable you are about your audience, the better your content is going to hit and connect. It makes it more personable. It makes it feel like you're talking directly to them, right? That makes sense? All right, cool. Why is it important to know who your audience is? Knowing who your audience is allows you to speak their language. It allows you to speak directly to the problems, the issues that they're dealing with. One of my clients, she does custom wigs, and her target audience, her target clients, they're usually middle to upper class women who are on the go. They're busy. They need a convenient way to maintain and keep their hair. So her understanding that and knowing this is who her audience is, this is the problems they're dealing with, not wanting to do their hair, whatever it is, she can speak to those issues that they may have. Don't spend 5 hours in the morning getting ready for work. Just throw this on, you ready to go. Like, you can speak directly to an issue that your audience has and show them that your product or service is the answer to their solution. That makes sense? So how do you figure out who your target audience is, right? Start by looking at your most recent or your best clients. Ideally, you want to look at your best clients. You want to look at the people who you've worked with in the past that were great to work with. They had great energy, great attitude. They didn't give you any problems. They weren't super stressful. They didn't miss payments. They paid you on time. They were happy to pay. They didn't argue about the price. Like, who are those best people that you've worked with, or who do you want to work with? Ideally, if you could only work with one person for the rest of your life, if your business can only service one person, who would that person be? And what you're going to do is you're going to create what's called an avatar. It's basically a fictional character. If you ever played The Sims or 2K, anything like that, where you get to create your own character, you create your own character that represents your target audience. And I actually put together a worksheet in Notion that's going to help you go through and get completely clear on who this is. Let me show y'all real quick. So this is the Build Avatar worksheet. It's a guide that I put together. It has a bunch of questions that are going to help you get a better understanding who they are. It's free. It's in the bio. But if you don't want to download it, start by understanding who your best clients are. Figure out who you would like to work with, who that person is, like what they're going through, what they're dealing with, what their day-to-day life is like, what's stressing them out, what's causing them issues, what do they want from their future, what do they want their business to be, what do they want their life to look like. Like, get very clear on all of that information. The more clear you are on that, the better off you're going to be. So check that out. Lots of good information in here. But back to what we were doing. So once you know what they're struggling with, once you know their dreams, their nightmares, and their goals, this will allow you to speak their language. And what I mean by speak their language is that when people are in these communities, whether you're in the dog walking community, Barbie community, fitness, like whatever, like they have different lingo, different things that they say that lets you know, like, this is somebody who understands what I'm talking about. If I mention macros, like, a lot of people aren't going to know what macros are, or like how to keep track of your macros, unless you're in the fitness niche. So understanding these little phrases or little things you can say will help you be able to speak their language. If you're selling a product or a service in the niche, you should already know these kinds of things. These shouldn't be foreign to you. If you're not, like, let's say you're starting a drop shipping brand on Shopify and this is a new niche for you, you never worked with them before or never worked in this industry, what you're going to do is you're going to go look at books, you're going to look at Amazon, you're going to look at reviews, you're going to look at testimonials, you're going to look on social media in the comments, and you're going to see how people are talking, see what people are saying, see the words that they're using, see the phrases, the terminology, and get familiar with the language of the niche, if that makes sense. This will allow you to start tailoring your message to speak directly to them. So how do you tailor your message? You start going back to the personal training example. If somebody is looking to lose that freshman 15, if you're a young personal trainer and you're looking to work with college students, you know that their people are going to be aware of that freshman 15. And even if they're not aware of the freshman 15, there's other things that you can say so that your target audience, your intended audience, will know that they're talking to you. Another example, keeping on the personal trainer shit. If you've been spending all semester snacking late night and pigging out at the dining commons, these tips might be helpful for you. If you came in freshman year looking like this and now you look like this, talk to me, I might be able to help you. Like, just figuring out ways to speak to your target audience, speaking to what they want for themselves or what they're dealing with, so that they know that you're a solution to the problem that they have, right? Does that make sense? I hope so. So the next issue that most business owners have is that they don't have any type of custom offer. And what I mean when I say offer, so when it comes to products and services, right? Let's say you do taxes. A lot of people who do taxes kind of just promote that they do tax services, which is cool, but there are a lot of people out here who do taxes. There are a lot of people who provide that same service. So there's no way for you to stand out in a crowd. You're literally the same as everybody else. If I was to look up tax services, you would just come up with a list of a bunch of other people. So the only thing that will make you stand out is your reviews and your testimonials. But that means you have to have better reviews and more testimonials than everybody else, right? And this is how a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs kind of approach their business. They provide a bunch of services. I was on a strategy call a couple weeks ago with someone who provides business coaching and helps with VA setup and business credit. And she does all these different things that are helpful to someone who might be a new business owner, but she's selling them individually. Like, oh, I can do your credit here. I can help you with a virtual assistant, or I can help you with the email. She was just marketing and promoting her different services, which didn't make her stand out, because there's people who specialize in doing VA work. There's people who specialize in business credit. What's going to make you stand out? And a lot of times that's going to be your offer. That's going to be something that separates you from everybody else. So a lot of times the best way to create a really good offer is to create a package that is for a specific audience. Now, if we go back to our target audience section, remember, I told you, your messaging becomes a lot more powerful when you talk to a specific group. When you're very specific and clear about who you're talking to, your content is more effective. You get more engagement, you get more comments. The right people tune into the content because they know it was intended for them. So when you create an offer, you create a package that's targeted specifically at that audience that you're creating content for, that college student who gained weight and wants to lose that weight. You have a package specially created for them. That offer is going to be a lot more effective, especially when it comes right after that content that caught them out specifically. Hey, I know you have this problem. I know you have this issue. I'm putting out content to let you know I know you have this problem and I know what the issue is and I know I can help you fix it. I know I can help you solve it. I have this package that was made specifically to help you do that. That's where a really powerful offer comes in. And there's ways to make this really powerful. I can go super in depth with it. But if you want to learn more, go onto YouTube and search for $100 million offers by Alex Hormozy. A bunch of videos come up. There's one that does a book summary. It's really good. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So, a little bit better, how to sell so that people feel stupid not to buy. Go watch that video. It's really good. It breaks down the whole concept of $100 million offers and makes it very easy to understand. Way better than I can explain it. So, go check that out, all right? But back to where we were. Let me see. So, I have a couple of examples to show you from offers in different niches. So, real quick. Right here, this is, I don't even know who this is. This is just somebody I saved on Facebook. Shout out to her, Empowered Business Lab, whoever you are. So this is the Empowered Business Lab, right? An offer usually has a very specific name to it. It's something unique that you're not going to find anywhere else. That's one of the key factors of a good offer. It's having a name that kind of stands out and makes it unique. And once we get into it, I'll show you how it's different from what other people might be offering, right? So she says this is your trusty roadmap that makes selling digital products easy, right? So notice she doesn't say I create digital products for you, or I'm going to show you how to make money with digital products. This is a goal that people have. Anybody who's selling digital products, they want to know how to do it easily and they want a clear understanding of how to do it. So she breaks down what's inside the bundle. Step 0, you get unstuck and take action. This is going to help you figure out your goals, milestones, things like that. You're going to create your digital products. She gives you some templates that you can use to help you create it. Planning out your sales funnel, tracking spreadsheet, funnel planning guide, all that. Then she's going to show you how to master the tech, different tutorial videos, how to set up landing pages, also coming with more templates, right? So she broke the bundle down into 3 or 4 different sections, but inside you see you get a lot of different things. You get to validate your ideas, craft a solution, create your digital product. It's going to show you how to create an offer, like we're talking about now, converting via email, optimizing with funnel data. Now, if you were to go through and say, oh, I have this funnel system that I'm going to show you, this funnel training, that's cool, like that's nice, but some people don't even know that they need a funnel. Some people don't know what an offer is. So it's a lot harder to sell that. But when you say, I have this package that's going to help you sell digital products a lot easier, that's a good offer because it's offering very tangible results that people can get. The way to make this offer even better might be, I'll help you make your first $5,000 selling digital products in less than 90 days. That's a much more powerful, being able to put a timeline on when they're going to be able to get the result, being able to say you're going to get this specific number, you're going to hit 10,000, you're going to book 100 calls, whatever it is, you're going to get this very specific result. That's a lot more powerful. But this is still a good offer. I'm sure she does really well with this, and that's not bad at all. That's really good. I might fuck with that. I might get that. I might cop that just to see what she got in there. Yeah, who knows? So another good offer, this is if you do e-commerce or if you sell a product or anything like that. So this is Everyday Doses, the mushroom coffee that's going around.
My money back from Everyday Dose. The bundle includes all of this: 30 servings of mushroom coffee, a rechargeable electric frother, gunmetals.
So it's literally listing out the bundle right here. You're getting all of this. You're getting a free membership. Notice, try risk-free for 45 days plus get free gifts. It has a very specific timeline on what you're going to get. You can get this for 45 days and you're going to get free gifts. This is a really good offer. And they do a risk reversal, which is another important factor, is being able to reverse risk or make people feel like they're not going to lose even if they don't enjoy it or get the results they're looking for, right? So offering like money back guarantee, work with you until it's free or until you achieve that result. Having those types of things just make your offer stronger and stronger, right? So next problem that most businesses and entrepreneurs have when it comes to social media is that they don't have any systems or processes. And you can tell this because there's a lot of disorganization, inconsistency. They're spending a lot of time, energy, and effort into the content, into social media, in their business, but they're not getting as much results as they feel like they should or would think that they should. There's a couple essential systems that you should have as a business owner, as a content creator, somebody who's using online marketing, to make sure you have the right systems and processes in place, right? So first thing you're gonna need is either CRM or email marketing. And the reason this is kind of slashed because you can have a CRM separate from the email marketing, But a lot of email marketing platforms are CRMs these days. But you want to have a place where you can contact your audience. You want to have somewhere where you can send them emails consistently. You can grow your email list. You can have people sign up, give you their contact information, and then you can message them and keep track of your leads. So let me show y'all mine real quick. I use a platform called Go High Level. So this is High Level. This is the CRM / email marketing system I use. It's basically an all-in-one marketing platform. You can do email marketing. It has calendars. It has all your contact information in here. You can send out emails. This is where I go in. I schedule out my emails. You can host your blog here. You can host your website here. Literally like 90% of what you need to run your business for a small business, entrepreneur, content creator, 90% of what you need is in here. Tracks your analytics, tracks your statistics. You can have your ads come through here. You can connect it to your Shopify. You can keep track of your pipeline to see where people are, whether they're a new lead, they're qualified, booked, whatever. But you want to have somewhere to keep track of your contact list. You can do so much with this platform. Starting price is $97 a month. If you want to get, I think you get 30 days free or 14 days free. I have a link in the bio. But there are other platforms you can use: ConvertKit, GetResponse, ActiveCampaign, MailerLite. Whatever platform you're using, you want to be able to keep track of your contacts, right? You want to be able to send them out messages after they sign up for your email list. Get invoices. You can keep track of your pipeline to see where people are, to keep track of where people are, whether they're a new lead, they're qualified, booked, whatever. But you want to have somewhere to keep track of your contact list and continue to grow it. So you want to either have an email marketing system or a CRM. HubSpot, that's another good one. Forgot about that. But get your email marketing platform or a CRM. Get yourself set up so that you can start growing your email list, because that's one of the most important things you can do as a business owner. Platforms go down, you lose access. There's new platforms popping up, and you want to be able to take that contact list with you wherever you go. If you get 1 million followers, but Instagram goes down tomorrow, what happens? Like, they're just gone, right? So you want to grow your email list and continue to grow it, because you can take that with you wherever you go, right? The second system you need to have for your brand: understanding your sales funnel, right? So a sales funnel, you might have heard this before, you might not. It's basically the process someone takes to go from stranger to client. Actually, boom, okay, right, there we go. So this is a kind of visual representation, but it's basically understanding how people go from not knowing who you are. They never heard of you. They don't know your brand. That's the awareness stage. Understanding that you have the solution to their problem. You know what they're dealing with. You know what issues they have, and you can help them solve it. And then deciding that you're the person that they want to work with, right? You want to understand, because there's different things that you do at each level, and there's different content that you put out at each level, so that you can keep people going down, and not just keep people going through the funnel, but weeding out the people who don't fit into the funnel, who aren't meant to be there. So going back to the personal trainer with the college student, if you were putting out this package that's meant for college students, you want to help them stay on top of their health. You wouldn't want somebody who's 50 and dealing with arthritis or bone or joint issues. Like, that's not who your target audience is. The exercises, the diet, whatever you have in that package that you created for those college students, it's not going to be the same thing that you would want to do for that older person. So having your funnel and having that targeted content, that content that's meant to weed people out and let people know I have that specific solution for you, it keeps them going down the funnel and pushes out the other people, right? So you want to understand that process. If you want me to do a training on that, I probably will, but let me know in the comments. So the reason why you want to have the right systems and tools is because it's going to simplify your process, and it's going to save you time, because a lot of what we do is doing the same things over and over. Scheduling the content, writing out the captions, coming up with ideas, finding ways to get clients. Once you have a process that you know works, and you know this is how I get clients, or this is how I create content, this is how I put whatever out, you can figure out how to optimize it, and you can keep doing it and get better and better at it. When you don't have the systems, you're just kind of doing things on the go, and you're not setting yourself up for success. If you don't understand the processes that people go through to get to your product, if you don't understand the process people go through to find your content and follow you and decide they want to work with you, if you don't understand that process, you're just going to be out here trying to figure things out, running around like a chicken with their head cut off, right? So that combination of having a system, email marketing or a CRM, having that set up so that you can grow and expand your contact list, so that you can send them the new content you put out, so you can send them sales when they come out. Those two are going to set you up for success. Most people are operating without either of those and no understanding of like how they could benefit your business. So make sure you have a very clear understanding of those. All right. So how can you start putting these into place today? Right. This is one of those things that I'm not a big fan of when it comes to social media, is that a lot of people, they're putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into it, but they aren't getting those results back, not the ones that they're looking for. So what I'd recommend is you kind of slow down on the content, slow down on what you're doing, and get that foundation in place first. Get those systems set up so that you know the work, the effort, the energy, the time that you're putting into this, the investment you're putting into it, you're getting that back tenfold, 20-fold, right? So I broke it down by the different levels of the funnel, right? So we have top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, tofu, mofu, bofu, right? So top of funnel, that's going to be, going back to here, that's going to be your awareness stage. That's, you see the biggest, that's where you're going to be trying to reach the most people, or where you're looking to reach not just the most people, the most right people. The right people for your audience, and as many as possible. So this is like, if you think of brand awareness, is you getting people aware of your brand. It's just getting people to know about you. That's the first step. First thing, they're strangers. They don't know about you. So the first thing you want to do is get them to know about you. So you do that with content and social media. Those are going to be your two main. And depending on your niche, your audience, or whatever, this is going to look different for a different industry. So your audience might be most active on Instagram. They might be most active on TikTok. More than likely, your audience is active on every platform. The key is to understanding how to use them the right way. Like I said, I can go deep into this. So I'm gonna keep it kind of surface level, but it's understanding where the attention is and where the exposure is from the platforms. So a year or two ago, Instagram was really heavy pushing Reels because they were trying to keep up with TikTok. 4 or 5 years ago, TikTok, everybody was going viral. Everybody was blowing up on TikTok. So if your marketing brain, your business owner, entrepreneur brain, if everybody's on TikTok going viral, if that's where I can get a lot of exposure to a lot of new people, that's a good top of funnel source. That's a good top of funnel traffic source, what you would call it. So you want to put content out there, but then it's understanding how that piece, and this is where a lot of people struggle, is that they think, oh, I'll just go on TikTok and post all my content there and I'm just gonna blow up. But TikTok is really good at top of funnel content, but it's not the best at converting people into buyers because it's so fleeting, and people are on TikTok to escape. They're there to be entertained. Some people go on to learn, some people go on there to solve their problems, but a lot of times it's just like mindless scrolling, just scrolling to pass the time, right? So they're not necessarily looking for a solution. What you say might be interesting. You might have really interesting content. You might be relevant to them. They'll save it for later or watch it really quick. But TikTok isn't the best for converting. So it's about understanding the different platforms, what's getting attention, and how you can use that as a part of your funnel, as a part of your process. Getting attention on TikTok and then funneling them to your Instagram or your YouTube, and then going from there, getting them to your email list. Like, it's understanding how that process works, right? So top of funnel, content, social media. You want to send them from your social media, blogs, TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, whatever. You're going to send them to a lead magnet and landing page. This is different from a website. A lot of people get confused because they're like, oh, I have a website. Do I need a landing page? I would say have both. But the reason landing pages are good and important is because it's a lot easier to optimize a landing page for conversion. That means if you track how many people go to your landing page, a lot of people know how much traffic they're getting to their website or how much is converting, right? So let's say 100 people go to your website, but 20 of them go to your blog, 20 of them go check out your products. A couple of them get a text and they bounce off. Like, there's different things that people can do once they go to your website, and there's so many different options. So it's a lot harder to optimize that for conversions. But with the landing page, there's one very specific thing that you want them to do, whether that's book a call or download a guide or a template or an ebook, whatever. There's one very specific thing that you want them to do. So when you're sending people, let's say you have that targeted piece of content, freshman 15, you want to lose this, click the link in the bio or comment below and I'll send you a link to whatever. Now you're sending them to that landing page. You know that the people are coming there are coming because they saw this piece of content or they saw this ad or they saw your page and was like, ooh, let me see what they have. So they're going to this landing page to do this one thing. They're not going to check out your blog or see what past work you did or see what else you offer. They're going to get this one thing. Now, you know, if you send 100 people to that landing page and let's say 50 of them decides to download, you know that you have a 50% conversion rate for that landing page. And you know that the people that come and get that lead magnet, whether it's to help you with your body image or to help with your mindset or a diet plan or exercise routine, you know that they came there for this specific thing. And now you kind of have an understanding of where they might be in their journey or where they might be in the process, what they're dealing with, what issues they might be having, right? So you want to send people with your content, your social media, you want to send them to a landing page, get your lead magnet so that you can get their contact information. As soon as they get that lead magnet, it should get delivered to them and then should be followed up immediately by a welcome series, which is basically 3, 4, 5, can be up to 7. Some brands like ClickFunnels think their welcome series is like 50, 60 emails long or some shit. So this welcome series is going to indoctrinate people into your brand. It's going to welcome them in, tell them about you, provide them value, tell them about the services you provide. Like, there's different ways to tweak it for different niches and industries. But ideally, this is kind of like you're welcome in, you're welcome to, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I can provide, right? This is your first chance to offer them something else. So if they downloaded that lead magnet, maybe offer them an ebook that's the next level to that, or like a training or a mini course or a guide. So ideally, you want to have what's called a value ladder. This is basically a way to extend the time and money that people spend with you. So if they come in with the freebie, they come in and get the free guide, the next logical step or the next thing that will make sense for whatever they're doing, for whatever they're working on, that might be your $7, $10, $12 product, right? After that, they got that. Now it's on to the next product. It's a training or a course or a one-on-one, whatever it is. And you want to have different price points inside your business so that you can have people who only want the free stuff, but they might buy later, who only want the low ticket stuff because they're more the do-it-themselves type, who they just need this little piece or they're gathering information, whatever. You want to have something for the people who need help doing it, and you want to have something for the people who want you to just take over. And you don't need all of them. Like, everybody's value ladder is going to be different. But if you only have one product, if you only have one service, you only have one lead magnet, you're leaving a lot of money on the table and you're missing out on a lot of opportunities. So having a clear understanding of your value ladder and the things that you can provide to your audience, it not only shows them your knowledge, your ability, like what you can provide, but it also gives you the ability to make money in different ways. If you create an ebook that you can sell, you create it one time, you can sell it forever. That's just money coming in consistently. You don't have to keep making a product. Whereas if somebody wants to work with you, they need your time, they need you to work one-on-one with you, that's going to cost a lot more. So you want to have these different levels. And like once they're in your funnel, you can just keep sending them up the ladder. Not everybody goes to the next product. Not everybody makes it to the top. But that's not the point. It's just about capitalizing on those people who are going to, right? So other middle funnel content, these are going to be your newsletters, things you're sending out weekly, bi-weekly. Ideally, you want to send out something at least once to twice a week, minimum once a week. It just becomes a lot harder to stay top of mind when you're sending out content less and less. If you're sending out newsletters less and less, or if you're posting on YouTube less and less, like it just becomes harder to stay top of mind because there's so much content and people are putting out content consistently. You want to make sure you're putting out content and staying on top of people's mind. The frequency will depend on your niche industry, of course. But also newsletters, trainings, like these can be webinars, live trainings, weekend events, during the week events, email training. Like there's different ways you can do it. But you want to be continuously providing value, right? And as you're doing that, you're sending them newsletters, you're sending them to your trainings. At the end of those trainings or at the end of those newsletters, the emails, the content, whatever, that's when you send them to a sales page. You make them an offer, or you give them a discount. You send them to a calendar to get them to book a call because they've consumed enough of your content. They see you know what you're doing, or they saw you've gotten results for this person. Now they're like, oh, I'm interested now. You send, hey, I'm doing a special this weekend. Book a call for us to talk so you can get yours. Like whatever it is, there's a lot of different ways to do it. But understanding the content that goes into different levels is going to help you with understanding that process and how to keep people moving down it, right? Hope that makes sense. So the next problem, and I see this from a lot of people who are just getting into social media and just getting into content, is they're not creating very engaging content. The content's boring, the content's stale, the content's static. A lot of times people will just post flyers of their services or the products they have. This isn't interesting. People aren't getting on social media to just be sold to. They're not getting on to see just like you posting the same flyers or you posting the same content over and over. They want to be entertained, they want to be educated, they want to be inspired, they want to be motivated, right? Your content needs to hit these points, right? Depending on who your audience is. So how do you create content that attracts and retains clients? I think we kind of touched on this going through, but you want to create content that connects, it resonates, it's interesting to them, it holds their attention. You have to look at what other people are doing, look at the content that people are putting out, and really be honest and like truthful with yourself. Like, does my content measure up? Am I creating something that I would watch? Is this worth it? You want to put out content that's valuable, that helps, it solves problems, it addresses issue, gets them results. Like, provide value. I think a lot of people are missing that when they come to social media or they start doing content. They're missing out on the value providing aspect. A lot of it is selfish. I think that kind of goes into the mistakes to avoid. A lot of the content people post is selfish content. It's about them. It's an ego stroke. It's about, this is what I did. This is for me. Buy my product. This is my service. This is what I do. It's never taking into account the audience, the person who's consuming it. If you don't understand your audience, if you're not doing it for them, you're going to fail. I promise you're going to fail. Inconsistent content, not posting consistently, only talking about your brand or only talking about your business, only talking about the services you provide. I know a lot of people, a lot of gurus, coaches and things, they'll say, oh, you need to niche down. You need to only talk about one specific thing. That's, oh, we're not on that no more. Content, social media, especially social media, is shifting to a more personalized connection type content. And this is due to the fact that people want to buy and shop with who they know, like, and trust. You're able to build that connection with your audience, that know, like, and trust factor through your content, through your social media. And you're not going to do that by only talking about your services, by only talking about the products you provide. You're going to do that by building a community, right? And another mistake that a lot of people make is that they're going into this without a strategy. They don't have a strategy when it comes to their content, when it comes to their marketing, when it comes to social media. A lot of them are just posting, hoping that they get the results they're looking for. They put it out. They don't really know if the content is going to work. If it did work, what would that look like? If it doesn't work, what would that look like? They don't know. They're just posting and hoping, oh, if I put my link in the caption, people will go check it out. Not realizing that Instagram, if you put a link in the caption, nobody can click on it. So they have to literally copy the caption, take that to a browser. It's a lot of work. So people don't really have a strategy with the approach. Then they're also relying on referrals to get clients. If you're getting clients from referrals, that's great. It's not saying that's a bad thing. That's a really great thing. But that dries up, and it's not a dependable way to get clients, because it just depends on when people tell people, or if they remember to tell people. So you don't want to be posting and just kind of hoping things go right. You also don't want to just be stuck on referrals, and that's the only way you're getting clients, because that's where a lot of business owners at. They're only getting new clients from referrals, and that leaves you in a very dangerous place. So how do you put a strategy into place? It starts with understanding how to get clients. It starts with understanding how that process works. And this is going to come down to understanding your sales funnel. It's going to come down to understanding where the strangers are, where your audience is, what platforms they use, what kind of content they consume. Are they watching reels? Are they reading blogs? Are they on Twitter? Understanding where your audience is, and then how you're going to get in front of them. What kind of content are you going to put out? What platforms are you going to use? What are you going to talk about? What information are you going to give out? What are you going to help them solve? What problems are you going to help them address? What are you going to do to, like, show them, hey, I know what you need. I know you have a problem. I know the solution to that problem. Check me out. It's about, once they're aware of you, once they know about you, they know you can solve their problem. Well, who have you done this for? What can you do? What do you understand about this? It's understanding the different levels of your funnel and how you're going to move those people through. That's what it comes down to. No matter what social media platform you're using, whether you're doing e-commerce, products, info products, community, subscriptions, whatever you're doing, there's a process that people are going to take to get to that end result. Your goal is just to map it out and understand how it goes. If you need help with that, I have a strategy guide. It's called the Unique Strategy Guide. I'll put that in the thing. So real quick, this is a Unique Strategy Guide to building a custom content strategy and blueprint for your brand. It's powered by AI, so there's ChatGPT prompts in here. It's built on Notion. Basically, you go through right under here where it says, let's build your content strategy. There's all the different things that you need. So we're going to start with laying the foundation. Brand voice, target audience, setting goals. After you set the foundation, you go to your content blueprint. What are your themes? What are your pillars? What are your content types? Inside of each one of these, there's going to be a breakdown of kind of what each one is. And then there's going to be ChatGPT prompts for each one. So identify the content pillars, relevance of the content pillars, content themes. And you're just going to go through and use each one of these in ChatGPT and just fill in your information. And this is going to help you come out with a very, very detailed and custom content strategy that nobody else has. Coaches, gurus, consultants, they'll probably charge you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to help you get clear on this information. This is going to help you go through and do it all yourself. And it's very valuable, very helpful. All right. So make sure you check that out. It's in the description. All right. And if you want to see an effective example of lead generation, then just take a look at this video, this training right here. I'm putting this on YouTube. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take clips from this and I'm going to post that to an Instagram and send people to watch the full video on YouTube. I'm going to link to this video through my blog, through Pinterest, post it on Twitter, post it on Facebook, so that people can come watch this training, come watch this video, and then hopefully go down, if they get value from this or want to go further and take it another step, they can go down in the bio and grab one of my free guides or even book a call if they're ready for it, if they need help. By the way, if you need help getting clear on your funnel, your content strategy, any of that, or just you have some questions and you need some clarity, book a call, let me know, we can talk, we can chop it up, and I'll help you get it clear on it, all right? But yeah, the key with a really good lead generation strategy and understanding how to grow your email list and get leads is just understanding that final point that you want them at. What's the ultimate goal? Oh, I want them to book a call so that they can buy my funnel services. Okay, well then my top of funnel content, the stuff that I'm putting on social media, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, that needs to be about funnel related stuff and web pages and landing pages and selling products and having a good offer and getting more clients, growing your email list. And I should be creating content that addresses the different problems that people might have or might be dealing with when it comes to my product or service, right? Then it's just about, okay, I create social media content, tell them to go follow me. Now that they're following me, they're seeing more of my content. Let me post this link in my story to this freebie, to this training, whatever it is. Go grab this free guide. Okay, they grabbed the free guide. Now they're getting emails from me telling them about other problems that I might be able to help them solve, problems that I help solve for other people, different things that I've done. And then every so often, I'll just, hey, if you want to book a call, hey, if you're ready to solve this problem, here's a product, here's a sales page. But I'm not doing that every time. Most of the content I'm putting out is just information, value providing, and building up a relationship with the audience. And then it's just wash, rinse, and repeat. The more clients you get, the better you start to understand them, the more problems you can help them solve and different things like that. That affects your top of funnel content and how you talk and the type of content you're putting out. It just keeps people in the funnel and keeps them going through it. Eventually, they go past being the client and customer, and then they become a consistent customer. They buy from you again and again, or your other different products. Like I mentioned, going up the value ladder, they buy the next product and the next product. And then they become the advocate or the fan, the person who's just telling everybody like, yo, this is the person. These are your referrals. So a lot of people are relying only on this part without really understanding everything else, understanding how to get people to that part. So once you get people down here, it just becomes about optimizing the funnel, making it better, making better content, and just helping solve more and more problems and providing more value. Yeah, I know that was a lot. I know this was long. Shout out to you if you watched all the way through. If you're still here, if you're still watching, appreciate you. Shout out to you. If you want more content like this, if you need help, if you have specific issues or problems that you're dealing with, let me know in the comments. Hit the follow, like, subscribe, whatever. Watch one of these videos that YouTube is going to suggest because they think it's a good idea for you to check it out. So, yeah, see y'all in the next one, all right?